فرزند زہرا یہ حالات برے ہیں۔
کاشانہ بصیرت ایک ایسا مکمل یوٹیوب چینل جس پر محروم بصارت کے لیے بالخصوص اور تمام افراد کے لیے بالعموم سینکڑوں کی تعداد میں اسلامی کتب دستیاب ہیں۔ لہذا گزارش ہے کہ آپ اپنی ذمہ داری نبھاتے ہوئے کاشانہ بصیرت کو سبسکرائب کرنے کے ساتھ ساتھ بیل آئیکن کو پریس کیجئے تاکہ آپ علم کے حصول کے ساتھ ساتھ مذہب اہل بیت کی اشاعت میں بھی اہم کردار ادا کرتے رہیں۔ کاشانہ بصیرت۔
فرزند زہرا یہ حالات برے ہیں۔
Volume 1, page 13, Part 2, Caliphate Before Creation. So to say, the Almighty Allah says in His book, "And when your Lord said to the angels, I am going to place in the earth a vicegerent." Hence, the Almighty Allah commenced caliphate even before the creation of human beings. This verse proves that the wisdom of caliphate is beyond the imagination of creatures. Therefore, he initiated caliphate first because he is pure and wise. A wise being is one who initiates with an important task instead of an unimportant one. This statement is supported by a tradition of Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam. The proof of creation arrives before creation, along with it and after it. If Almighty Allah creates being without a proof, then He has ruined them and left them to foolishness. His wisdom demands that finalities must be defined so that mischievous are guided, and wisdom should not permit even a moment to turn away from the confines of these ordinances. Wisdom is generalized in the same way as obedience is. If a person thinks that the world can be without an imam even for a second, then it is necessary for him to become a Brahmin because they refute prophethood. If I would not have been mentioned in the Holy Quran that Muhammad is the last prophet, it would have been necessary for every age to have a prophet. Now that it is already mentioned, there is no chance of arrival of a prophet or a messenger after the Holy Prophet. However, the necessity of a caliph is still in mind. This is because the Almighty Allah does not invite to anything unless He makes the human mind understand its significance. If it is beyond the imagination of human beings, the invitation is aimless and it is not considered as a divine proof. Everything is influenced by its like and is repelled by its opposite. Therefore, if human mind would have rejected the presence of messengers, Almighty Allah would never have appointed them. It can be illustrated by an example that a doctor treats patients by medicines which are associated with the patient. If a doctor treats a patient using a medicine which has negative effects on the health, it would prove fatal. This proves that God, who is the wisest among the wise, will also not invite to a cause except that which is in accordance with the human understanding. The nominator can be identified by looking at the caliph as in general cases. It is common fact that if a king appoints an unjust successor, the people will insist that the nominator is unjust. On the other hand, if the successor is just, the nominator too would be considered just. This proves that infallibility is a must for divine caliphate. The caliph appointed by Allah cannot be a non-infallible. Next title is Necessity of Obeying the Caliph. The Almighty Allah made Prophet Adam caliph on earth and ordered the inhabitants of heaven to obey him, let alone the people of the earth. Allah made it obligatory on the creatures to have faith on His angels. He made it obligatory on His angels to prostrate in front of one of His creatures. When one of the jinn refused to do so, the Allah Almighty disgraced him till the judgment day and cursed him. These facts made us aware of the status and greatness of an imam. When the Almighty Allah informed His angels about the appointment of caliph on the earth, He made them bear witness to it. This shows that if a person believes that human beings have right to elect their caliph, all the angels will testify against him. The greatness of the testimony informs of the greatness of the cause. Then how can a person who considered himself rightful save himself from the punishment of Allah where all the angels of Allah have testified against him? On the other hand, how can a person who follows Nas be punished when all the angels of Allah have testified in his favor? Another point to be considered is that caliphate will continue till the judgment day. If a person thinks that divine caliphate implies prophethood only, he has made a mistake because Allah Almighty has promised that He will appoint caliph who guide as His successors. He says in the Holy Quran, now I'm reading the translation. Allah has promised to those of you who believe and do good that He will most certainly make them rulers in the earth, as He made rulers those before them, and that He will mostly certainly establish for them their religion, which He has chosen for them, and that He will mostly certainly, after their fear, give them security in exchange. They shall serve me, not associating aught with me. If caliphate would have implied only prophethood, the Allah Almighty would have appointed prophets after Holy Prophet as per the above verse. In such a case, the saying Khatimun Nabiyyin, seal of the prophets, would prove to be incorrect. This shows that the promise of Allah concerns non prophets also. This also differentiates caliphate from prophethood. It shows that a non prophet may be a caliph, but a prophet is always a caliph. It also means that Allah Almighty wanted to bring out the hypocrisy of a hypocrite and pure intentions of the virtuous by ordering His creatures to prostrate before Adam. The world looked the veil off the faces of both of them, the angels of Allah and shayateen. If we consider its meaning that the right to appoint the caliph is given to a person who has evil intentions, the world could never have been able to take the veil off his face. In this case, a hypocrite will always elect a person who orders people to obey him and bow down in his presence. How is it possible to reach out for the hypocrisy hidden deep into the hearts in this case? One more point worth mentioning here is that words are ranked according to the honor of addressee and the addressed. The way a person talks to his slave is completely different from the way he talks to his master. Over here, Allah is the addressee and all His angels are the addressed. Every general word has a general purpose hidden in it, in the same way as a particular word has a particular purpose hidden in it. The reward of a general is more than that a particular thing. For instance, Tawheed, which is a must for all the creatures, is different from the other commandments of Sharia like Hajj, Zakat, etc. Because these are particular things. Hence, the words of Allah, when your Lord informed His angels, proves that it has one of the meaning of Tawheed hidden in it, because the connotation used here is in a general form. If two words have similar meanings, the order of one of them is also implied in the other. Allah Almighty knew that some of His creatures will testify to His oneness and obey Him. This group will have enemies who will accuse and oppress them. If Allah Almighty would have stopped them forcefully, then the purpose behind creation would not be fulfilled. This would have expressed forcefulness and the prospect of reward or punishment would have become void. However, this was not the case. Now it is necessary for Allah to protect His friends in such a way that the prospect of reward and punishment does not become void. It was done by defining penalties like amputation of limbs, hanging to death, killing, imprisoning, and usurpation of rights. It is correctly said, no one stops people from reciting Holy Quran as much as a ruler does. The Allah Almighty has pointed this fact out in this verse. Translation is, you are certainly greater in being feared in their hearts than Allah. Hence, it is necessary for Allah to appoint a caliph who stops the hands of enemies from reaching his friends in such a way that they do not object, because Allah does not befriend a person who has not fulfilled his duties, obligations, and who is logically worthy of being dismissed. Allah is too elevated to befriend such persons. The word caliph has quite a different meaning. If a person builds mosque but does not say azan in it and appoints a muezzin for this purpose, the latter will be called muezzin only. However, if the person says azan for a few days and then appoints a muezzin, the latter will be called his caliph or a successor. Similarly is the case in the fields of knowledge. If a tax collector says that so and so is my successor, then he will be a successor in collecting tax and not in amounts collected from messenger and through oppression. Similarly, the collector or successor of amount collected from invoice and through oppression also does not have right over tribute amount. This proves that a caliph has different roles. It is one of the attributes of Allah that He provides justice to His friends for the oppression they face from His enemies. He has given the right to His caliph. The meaning of caliphate is apt on his basis, and the meaning that they are partners in divinity is not correct. Allah Almighty told Iblis in this regard, I am reading the translation, O Iblis, what prevented you that you should be obeisance to him whom I created? You have become proud, and this lays to rest all excuses, and it removes all doubts that he is such a caliph who is a partner in the oneness of Allah. Therefore, the Allah Almighty said that after knowing that Allah has created him, what prevented you from prostrating before him? Then he said, with my two hands, are you proud? Sometimes this is used in the meaning of bounty also. He had two such bounties of Allah that he could gather many other bounties. Like Allah says, again I am reading the translation, and made complete to you his favors outwardly and inwardly. Explanation is, there were two such bounties that they gathered many other bounties in them. Then he made his order stricter for him. The announcer of translation is, with my two hands, are you proud? Says, are you attacking me with my sword? Are you firing my arrows at me? This way of talking is eloquent and not despicable. Almighty Allah says, and when your Lord told his angels that he is going to appoint a caliph on earth, this is an ambiguous decision. An illustrate thinks that Allah Almighty takes the opinion of his creatures in ambiguous discussions, while a person having evidence believes that the action of Allah are solid and has faith in his majesty. He believes that Allah is elevated enough to get stuck in ambiguous discussions or become helpless in any matter. There is nothing in heavens and the earth which can make him helpless. The way of understanding this ambiguous verse is same as that specified for other ambiguous verses like this. They will be returned back to those strong verses, which will make it certain and ignorant and disbelievers will not have any excuse. Almighty Allah says, when your Lord, this statement means that Allah is guiding them towards a great obedience, which is related to Tawheed. Through this obedience, they would shun all their desires, injustice, usurping of rights, and all those things which can deter friendship with Allah. In this way, the argument is completed, and there was no excuse left for those who keep away from fulfilling their duties. Another point worth mentioning is that when Allah Almighty knows that a servant by his own will perform one of the worship acts so that he gains servitude and reward, and Allah overlooks this. In this case, we can say that there will be a possibility that Allah overlooks the good deeds of every creature, but this is not the case with Allah. There is a great reward for one who is responsible for the rights of Allah and His servant. When a person ponders in this matter, he will come to know some of the minor details because it is not possible to reach the Lord directly due to His greatness and honor. One of the meanings that is from its part is that even ants, mosquitoes, and all the animals embrace his golden chance of salvation through a just Imam. This statement is proved by saying of Allah. Translation is, and we have not sent you but as a mercy to the worlds. This fact is also supported by the following verse of Surah Nuh. Then I said, ask forgiveness of your Lord. Surely he is the most forgiving. He will send down upon you the cloud, pouring down abundance of rain. Every human and animal benefits from the abundance of rain. The rain of abundance is because of those who invite towards the rights of Allah. There are lots of rewards for those who disobey Him. There is a major punishment and their deeds will be accounted for. Therefore, we believe that Imam is needed for the existence of the world. I narrated the tradition implying this meaning in this book in the section named Necessity of Imam in Every Age. Next topic heading is no one can choose a caliph except the Almighty Allah. Almighty Allah says, translation is, and when your Lord said to the angels, I am going to place in the earth a vicegerent. There is a tanween on Ja'il here, and this is a right which Allah has kept only for Himself. He says, surely I am going to create a mortal from dust. Here there is a tanween on Khalik, which is an attribute selected by Allah only for Himself. Therefore, if a person claims that he has the right to elect a caliph, then he should be asked to create a man out of dust. If this is not possible for him, the second thing is also out of his capacity because both of them have same origin. The angels did not have the right to appoint a caliph in spite of their excellence and infallibility. Almighty Allah did His job on His own and made it a proof on His creatures that there is no way for you to appoint an Imam. Angels did not have any way to appoint Imam in spite of their pure intentions, loyalty, and infallibility. Allah Almighty has praised them in many verses, as in the following. Nay, they are honored servants. They do not precede Him in speech, and according to His commandments do they act. And in the other verse, as He says, they do not disobey Allah in what He commands them, and do as they are commanded. How can a man who has defective mind, foolishness, and ignorance do this job perfectly? We can see that Allah Almighty did not leave any commandment, including Salat, Zakat, and Hajj, etc., to the wish of a man. Then how is it possible to hand over the choice of the most important of all aspects to man? Next heading is need of only one caliph in every period of time. All the statements of Allah Almighty about a caliph means that there would be a single caliph only. This invalidates the proof of those people who says that there can be more than one imam at a time. If the argument of those people was correct, Allah Almighty would have appointed more than one imam at a time. Our claim is against those people, and Holy Quran supports our stand and not theirs. If two statements are contradictory, the statement supported by the Holy Quran will be considered correct. Next heading is need of existence of a caliph. Allah Almighty has addressed His messenger in the verse, وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ, and when your Lord said to the angels. Here, Rabbuk means your Lord is the best proof that Almighty Allah has reversed these meanings regarding His imamat till the judgment day. Therefore, the earth is never devoid of a proof of Allah for the sake of Muhammad's ummah. If this is not the fact, there would have been no logic in using the word Rabbuk or your Lord. Instead, the word Rabbuhum or their Lord should have been used. Allah Almighty uses the same logic and reasoning for the future generations as He has used for the past generations. His wisdom does not change with Him because He possesses justice and wisdom. He does not have any special relationship with any of His creatures. Next heading is necessity of Imam's infallibility. The verse of Allah, and when your Lord, also implies that Almighty Allah will not appoint a person as his caliph unless he is pure from mistake, so that he is void of distrust. If he appoints someone who is not pure from inside, then he has, God forbid, been mistrustful to his creatures. For instance, an agent supplies a dishonest porter to a trader. In this case, the agent will be called dishonest. How is it possible that Almighty Allah becomes mistrustful? For he truly says he had taught etiquette to Prophet Muhammad Mustafa in this verse. And be not an advocate on behalf of treacherous. Then how is it possible for him to perform an act which he does not like to see? He has criticized Jews because of their hypocrisy in this verse. Translation is, what do you enjoin men to be good and neglect your own souls while you read the book? Have you then no sense? The verse, and when your Lord, is a solid proof about the occultation of Imam. The Almighty Allah made it incumbent on everyone to obey the caliph when he said that he was going to appoint a caliph on earth. Shaitan, the enemy of Allah, had hypocrisy in his heart and kept it hidden till he became a hypocrite because of it. He intended to disobey the caliph every time he was ordered to obey. His hypocrisy was one of the worst because it was hidden. Therefore, he was disgraced the most among all the hypocrites. When the Almighty Allah had ordered his angels to obey the caliph, they had faith in him and were eager to do so. They had kept his feeling in their hearts, which was exactly opposite of what Shaitan had. As a result, the rank of angels increased manifold as much as the disgrace that the enemy of Allah had to face. Hence, obedience in seclusion has a great reward because it is free from every doubt. It is narrated that the Holy Prophet said, if a person prays for his brother in his absence, an angel from heaven calls out, may the same benefit be for you. The Almighty Allah has supported the belief on unseen and His religion. He says in this verse, Hudallil muttaqina allazina yu'minuna bil ghaib is a guide of those who guard against evil, those who believe in the unseen. Hence, belief on unseen has a great reward for believers because such a faith is free for all doubts. If someone pays allegiance to a caliph in his presence, there is a possibility that the person wants to seek some favor or he fears for his life, as in the case of people who obey their worldly rulers. However, having faith on unseen is free of all such doubts. Almighty Allah mentions this fact in the following verse. Translation of this verse is, they said, we believe in Allah alone and we deny that we used to associate with Him. But their belief was not going to profit them when they had seen our punishment. When obedient servants acquired faith in unseen, the Allah Almighty did not deprive even His angels of this reward. It is narrated that angels had had his conversations with the Almighty Allah 700 years before the creation of Adam alayhi salam. During this period, angel got the benefit of obedience accordingly. If a person denies the narration or above mentioned period, then he has no option but to have faith in unseen for a moment, and even a moment is not devoid of wisdom. When a moment has one unit of wisdom in it, 2 moments will have two. In this way, a number of moments will have a number of units of wisdom hidden in them. The reward will continue to get multiplied as the time period increases. As the reward increases, the curtains of mercy of Allah will move aside and it will prove His greatness and majesty. Hence, this narration is absolutely correct because it supports wisdom and reward and propagates the proof. The statement of Almighty Allah, and when your Lord, contains the proof of occultation of the Imam in many ways. One of them is that the occultation before existence is the most perfect of its kind because the angels had not seen any caliph before, whereas we have seen many of them. Holy Quran has discussed about them and many traditions have been narrated about them, which have reached to the level of tawatur. The angels had not seen even a single caliph, and hence the occultation of their time was perfect of its kind. Secondly, the earlier occultation was because of Allah, and this one is because of the enemies of Allah. When the angels can have faith in that occultation, which was because of Allah, then there is no point having a doubt in the occultation caused by the enemies of Allah. There is a pure worship in the occulation of Imam, which was not present in the previous one. It is so because the inhibited Imam is overpowered and oppressed. The enemies of Allah are openly torturing his followers through killing, plundering of wealth, suspension of divine commandments, oppressing the orphan, and misusing charity, etc. A person who has faith in the proof and caliphate of Imam will be rewarded along with him, and he will accompany the Imam in jihad. He is like one who is wary of enemies of Imam. The friends of the Imam will be rewarded for being wary of his enemies, and the reward of the friends of Imam is more than the reward of angels who believed the Caliph who had not come into existence. The Almighty Allah had informed the angels about Adam so that the later develops honor and that the angels develop an intention of obeying him. It can be proved through common sense that a king sends his message or a representative to his friend to inform him that the former is going to visit him so that the people prepare themselves to welcome the king and they do not fail in welcoming him in any way. Therefore, the Almighty Allah embarked on creation of his caliph firstly by describing him. Now the issue of caliphate is the same for those who were born later or as that of the earlier generations. Whenever he took one of his caliphs away from the earth, he informed the people of his successor. This fact is mentioned by Allah in this verse. أفمن كان على بينة من ربه ويتلوه شاهد منه. Is he then who has with him clear proof from his Lord, and a witness from him recites it? In this verse, Bayyina donates Holy Prophet and that witness who will come after him. Donates the Master of Faithful Ali ibn Abi Talib. It is proved in this verse of Allah. وَمِن قَبْلِهِ كِتَابُ مُوسَى إِمَامًا وَرَحْمَةً. And before it is the book of Musa, a guide and a mercy. And the verse which proves this meaning for the book of Musa is, translation is, and when we appointed with Musa a time of 30 nights and completed them with 10 more, so he appointed time of his Lord was complete 40 nights. And Musa said to his brother Harun, take my place among my people and act well, and do not follow the way of the mischief makers.